What's up guys, Nico here from ProNDC. Welcome to another ESO build video. So today I want to show you this stamina Warden for PVE. A lot of people asked me to finally release this Warden build. Like Warden build in general, I decided to make it stamina PVE. Because like Magic Warden PVE is still kind of weak and I'm not sure how to properly play it because I didn't spend time in theory crafting for Mag Warden. But Stem Warden is actually pretty nice, to be honest. I kind of like the class, and its damage is not that bad. Like people say, like Warden in general is bad, but that's not true. Stamina Warden can actually do some pretty nice single target damage. Just have to find the right players with the right videos. I will try to get some nice gameplay on the Stem Warden. And maybe upload it to my channel if it's really good, and then you can see for yourself that Stem Warden is actually not that bad. But anyway, let's start with the build video. I have to say, before we start, I was a little bit lazy. I didn't get skill points, and I'm still missing from my heavy armor some passives here. So I'm missing 1% of max health. Usually I'd be sitting at 16.8k. And I'm missing Constitution and Resolve, so I should have some high resistances too. Yeah, sorry for that. I was lazy. Then again, 36.7k stamina. That's the maximum you get with this setup. Actually, it's a little bit more because I still have purple shoulders because they're only sturdy. Because Zenimax decided not to give me any Village shoulders and divines, so whatever. I'm a red guard, so I get 10% more max stam and more stam recovery, and I get back stamina from melee attacks, which is nice. So we have 817 stam recovery, pretty basic, and 56.2% weapon crit chance. All points in stamina. We don't need points into health, to be honest. Warrior Mondo Stone for more weapon damage, and then max health and max stamina food to get the max pulls up. Of course, we don't need any dubious Kimura Throne stuff. It's totally not needed. You don't need that, trust me. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the stats. Unbuffed, buffed, we're sitting at 66%. Crit chance would be 2% more if I had 7 medium, but then I'd have 16.2k health only. Actually, I'm fine with that, with such low health, but I don't want to recraft my Hunting's Rage or Night Mother's Gaze legs because they're already heavy. Then I have a little bit more crit chance and more cost reduction. Then I could also go with Prescience on my offhand to get even more crit. And I think you can also sustain as a Khajiit. Like if you're a Khajiit, you have naturally like 8% more crit chance, which is also pretty nice. So Red Guard is a good race, especially if you want to go to PvP sometimes too. But Khajiit will probably give you the best DPS overall and more crit chance. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the stats. Let's have a look at gear. So I'm wearing the same setup as on my Stam DK. So this is the max damage version, which is 5 Hunting's Rage, crit, stam, crit, and weapon damage, all divines of course, and then we have Vicious Ophidian, crit, Minor Slayer, 5% more damage, crit, weapon damage, and well, cost reduction and resource return. So Vicious Ophidian, you get that in all Cracklon trials, Gold Jewelry from veteran completions, and Hunting's Rage, you can get that by crafting it yourself. As you can see, created by Onyx. So this is like the basic setup that you wear, all divines of course, and all stem enchanted. And this is for max damage. So what I recommend is you only wear this in trials if you are allowed to go full damage. If you don't, you might want to replace Hunting's Rage with Night Mother's Gaze if no one else wants to wear it. So you can wear Night Mother's Gaze, you get weapon crit, weapon damage, weapon crit, and we reduce the physical resistance by 2580 for 6 seconds. And the good thing about reducing resistance is that it counts for everyone in the group. So you reducing the target's physical resistance will benefit all other stamina DDs in the group. That's pretty nice. So if they say no, Warden DPS is shit, you're not allowed to go full damage, you have to support the group, go with Night Mothers instead of Hunting's Rage, and you're good to go. What you could also do, and that's what I'm trying to aim for, is Thunderflame. Because Thunderflame is actually a pretty good set, and usually other people already have Night Mother's Gaze, and you can wear Thunderflame, but it's hard to get the weapons if you want to combine it with Vicious Ophidian. So Thunderflame gives you max stam, weapon damage, weapon crit, and when you deal damage with a fully charged heavy attack, you deal an additional 933 flame damage and reduce the enemy's physical resistance by 3,320 for 8 seconds. I think it's almost 3.4k if it's gold, but then again I don't know. So you can get that set in City of Ash 1 and 2, the weapons from the final boss usually, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So Thunderflame is also an option, and like Night Mother's Gaze and Thunderflame are the two main support sets that you need in the group. So one StamDD is wearing Thunderflame, one is nearing Night Mother's Gaze, and the third one can go full damage like this setup here. Then you still have other support sets like Morak Tong. Morak Tong, you can also wear that, get the jewelry pieces and yeah, body pieces. It's really hard to get weapons. Gives you weapon damage, max stam weapon damage, and when you do direct damage, your enemy takes 10% more damage from all poison damage abilities for 5 seconds, which is also really nice, especially good for supporting stam decays. But yeah, those are pretty much the sets that you could replace Hunting's Rage with or Vicious Ophidian with. It's totally up to you. For weapons, I'm wearing a Hunting's Rage dagger on the front bar in infused with poison damage, and then I'm wearing a Vicious Ophidian dagger in sharpened with a weapon damage enchantment. Unlike some people who claim that this enchantment has a low uptime, which is, I'm sorry, this is bullshit. I'm not sure if they didn't have a proper look at combat metrics. The uptime on this is pretty good. I will show you a test that I've done where this glyph's uptime is 70%. That's because of a bug of infused, because infused only is supposed to reduce the cooldown of this weapon's enchantment, not also this weapon's enchantment, which makes the weight just like far too strong, because you get a reduced cooldown on this one too. It will not affect the power of the glyph, so it would still only be 348 weapon damage, but you get a reduced cooldown. That's why a 70% uptime on this glyph is possible. Possibly actually a little bit higher. But then, yeah. Well, and then we have a Maelstrom Bow and Infused. Well, Infused is one of the best trades. Some people still say that Nirnhone is a tiny bit better. I don't care, because Infused will be best in slot next patch. And next patch you will also get the Transmutation. I don't know how it's called in English. It's like the transmutation system. I think that's the name of it, where you can change the traits with some crystals that you can gather. So Infuse will be best in slot because it also reduces cooldown, etc. And the Maelstrom Bow will get changed. In general, all weapons, all Maelstrom weapons, or Master weapons, because you can put enchantments on them. And now the Maelstrom Bow's enchantment will be like a set bonus. So what actually makes Maelstrom Bow like really strong right now is Infused on the main hand, because Infused will also affect the Maelstrom Bow's enchantment. However, you can have a look at Blockmore. He's a player from Hodor, well-versed TikTok-tometer, really great guy and insane player, and I think the best stem Templar on the server. He doesn't even play with Infused weapon on the main hand, and then he's still hitting insane numbers. It's crazy how much damage he does, even though he's not using Infused. And Infused is good because next patch I can put an enchantment there, and I will put a disease enchantment there. I have poison here, I have weapon damage here, but Infused, the reduced cooldown, will give me well, I can get 2 procs of the disease enchantment on the back bar, and that's actually pretty good. So disease on the back bar, next patch with Clockwork City, now just don't re-enchant it. Don't do it. It's not good. You will lose the Maelstrom Bow's effect. So yeah, those are the weapons. And then we're wearing Belladreath as the monster set. of course, your divines, you'd have full divines, of course. You can wear Mephalas, you can wear you can even wear what's called Stormfist. It's up to you. All the stem sets are possible. However, I always try to have the best results with Veldreth, so I don't really even bother trying out other sets because Veldreth always gave me the best results. So I told you the options for a regular trials group. However, if you play alone, or if you want to do DPS tests and don't want to like completely screw it up, and then say like Warden DPS is shit. If you play alone, what you can get instead of Vicious Ophidian for more penetration is, like I always said, Spriggans. Spriggans, I always forget where you can actually get it. I think it's Bankurai. Spriggans will give you around like 3,300 penetration, 2 times max dam, and weapon damage, which is nice. You can get jewelry pieces in purple, and yeah, that's a pretty good set. However, if you want like a better version, which you can only get in Sanctum Ophidia, it's the Two-Fanged Snake set, which I did my DPS test with. So Two-Fanged Snake, you can see, also all divines, all jewelry pieces, only in Sanctum Ophidia. Gives you weapon damage, max stam, weapon crit, and when you deal damage, your physical penetration is increased by 860 for 3 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. As long as you keep doing damage while you have this 5-piece bonus active, this stacking will remain. It won't like go backwards. Like, only if you have it only on the front bar, and you're on the back bar, the stacking will reduce. So it's recommended to wear it on the body or wear jewelry pieces and 2 body pieces. So yeah, why am I wearing a Vicious Ophidian dagger and a Hunting's Rage dagger and not like 2 Hunting's Rage? Well, if you don't have Vicious Ophidian weapons, you can go to Hunting's Rage. The thing is, on the back bar, no, sorry. On the back bar, you can see that I have the 4-piece bonus active on both sets. And the 4-piece bonus is weapon crit. If I have a Hunting's Rage on the front bar with 5 pieces, I will lose 1 weapon crit bonus, which is a couple % less crit chance. And instead, I gain a little bit of weapon damage. But because of my attacks on the back bar being damage over time effects, they will get my front bar value anyway as soon as I swap. So the extra weapon damage will not benefit me as much as as my crit chance. So I don't want to drop my crit chance that much, and that's why I decided to go with the Vicious Ophidian dagger and the Hunting's Rage dagger split up. But like I said, only do it if you have Hunting's Rage, Vicious Ophidian weapons. So it's completely up to you. However, if you wear 5 pieces of Vicious Ophidian with jewelry and 2 body pieces, you'd have the 8% cost reduction on the back bar too, which gives you a little bit more sustain. So for example, if you're a Khajiit and you have more issues with sustain, I recommend to go with Vicious Ophidian 5 pieces on the body, so you'll have it on all bars active. Will help you tremendously with your sustain. Yeah, that's actually pretty much it for sets. Let's have a look at skills. I want to make this a little bit shorter than the German version of this build video. So for skills, I have Rearming Trap here. So Rearming Trap gives us minor force. That's basically the main reason why we use Trap. We get 10% more crit chance, which is nice. We have Rending Slashes as a single target bleed. Ignores resistances because it's bleed damage, but also still a good damage over time effect. Then we have Subterranean Assault. This is basically our main damage skill. Don't quote me on that, the spammable, because we cast it every time it runs out. And it's really good because it hits all enemies in a line, in the line you're looking, the direction you're looking, and it applies Major Breach and Major Fracture to all of them. So it's really good. Like, imagine a trial where you stack and burn, and the tanks taunt enemies with a range taunt, and the range taunt doesn't debuff at all. So they taunt them and run into the opposite direction to like pull them into the middle of a room, and the adds are stacked, but they're not debuffed yet. So the tanks have to come to the middle of the room. So what you can do as a Warden is to actually debuff all of them, of the enemies, so they get 10% more damage. Like 5k resistance debuff is 10% more damage, or 5.2k in that case. It's around 10% more damage, and that's nice. It can speed up trash fights quite a bit. So Warden is actually not that useless. However, in most cases, like, tanks will be quick enough to come to the middle and then debuff them themselves. But it will maybe save you a little bit of time in trash fights. But Wardens actually have their use. Then we have Deadly Cloak. So some people suggested, for example, on my Stem Sword build, to like take out Deadly Cloak because Hurricane is enough. I don't know, that person actually deleted the comment after I explained that he got something wrong. So damage in trials, even for Morrowind back then, had been reworked. So they took a look at damage and tried to figure out how to make damage more AoE based, so that Deathly Cloak actually reduces the damage. 25% damage reduction is huge. It's actually I have an easier time surviving with Deathly Cloak than with Magicka with a shield. It sounds crazy, but it's actually true. Then we have Cutting Dive. Well, I basically spam Cutting Dive 2 times and then Subterranean Assault only like when this fight is about to end, because I do a complete heavy attack rotation. I don't use Cutting Dive at all. Only if I want to attack from range, or if I can if I can like spam it and the fight is about to end. So like the last 5-6 seconds of the fight, I can spam it to get some more single target damage on the boss. That's the only reason, like the only time when I use Cutting Dive. Why do we have it? Well, we have here Advanced Species. Increase your damage done by 2% for each animal companion ability slotted. So keep in mind, this passive doesn't properly stack with other damage bonuses. It's like it always has been. It only adds 0.04 to the modifier that calculates your damage. You don't get a full 4% damage buff. Otherwise, this passive would be so strong. Maybe it would make Warden too strong in PvP. I don't know. That passive here is actually kind of like what they should rework, in my opinion, to buff Warden, especially Mech Warden. This could really help, but then again, I don't know. Maybe ZeniMax will have a look at it instead of just like buffing single abilities. But yeah, so basically it's only here for the passive. Then we have Flawless Dawnbreaker. So we get 5% more weapon damage from this, and I use it in AoE fights because the damage is not too bad. It's a 10-meter radius, so it's a nice AoE ultimate. It's not that expensive, but I basically have it because it gives me 8% more weapon damage. 5% here, and 5% from Slayer. Basically giving me over 200 more weapon damage, only because I have it slotted, because I have the Bodymander Stone and Hunting Rage, etc. So it's really strong. Then we have Ballista on the back bar as an ultimate. That's the ultimate that I personally always use. So this is great for single target because we still have Dawnbreaker on the front bar for more weapon damage, and Ballista is just insanely strong for single target damage. On all the classes, on all stamina classes I use, I finally switched to Ballista because it's just too strong. You have Endless Hail here to activate the Maelstrom Bow. This is the strongest hitting ability, AoE and single target, because of the Maelstrom Bow. Then we have Poison Injection, really good damage over time effect, especially in execute range. Then we have Resolving Vigor. This is kind of a flex spot because you can replace it with Leeching Vines. We have Nature's Gift, because if you heal an ally with a green balance ability, Leeching Vines doesn't have to be casted on you all the time. You can also like cast it on your allies, and if you heal the allies with this ability, you get back Magicka or Stamina depending on the lower resource. Actually also pretty nice for sustain. And then we have Maturation, which also works with Vigor. If you heal an ally or yourself, you get minor toughness. So basically, like if the horn runs out, you can apply the horn health buff bigger to your allies. Actually pretty cool. Then we have Razor Caltrops here. Damage over time effect, you get this ability from PvP, 200k alliance points, and then you will have it. Then we have Bullnetch here. So Bullnetch, yeah, it's also nice for sustain. You actually don't really need with this rotation. I'm not sure what other ability I should place here, to be honest, because it's an animal companion ability and it will give me a little bit more damage. So that's basically the bars, how I set them up. I will get to champion points first and then talk about my rotation. So green CPs, we have 28 in Warlord. You can always put them more here, take out points from Mooncalf. We have 76 Mooncalf, 76 Tenacity, 20 Tumbling, 20 in the Showboard. You can switch it around how you want. I'd keep the points into Tenacity and just take out points from Mooncalf to up the points in maybe Shellboard and Warlord. Red Tree, I don't know why I have 27 in Quick Recovery. Usually I have only 19. Then I have 49 Hardy, 49 Elemental Defender, 44 Thick-Skinned, 51 Ironclad, and the remaining points from Quick Recovery, I actually take them out and put them into Spell Sheet, but whatever. So what's more important is the blue tree. I have 64 mighty, 56 precise strikes, 56 thaumaturge, and 4 into piercing, but 40 into mastered arms. Well, Subterranean Assault is the second hardest hitting ability in our rotation, and it's direct damage. Same goes for our heavy attacks. So Constellation is suggested to put even more points into mastered arms. However, that was based on target skeleton tests, so I decided to not drop my thaumaturge point as much. Keep it at 56, and 40 should still be enough. 4 points into piercing. You won't over penetrate. Well, it depends. If you have all the debuffs in the group, you still want some extra penetration because the Alkosh uptime won't be 100%. Then again, you also, Crusher is not 100% up, so you want a little bit of penetration. That's why a sharpened weapon in the offhand is not that bad compared to precise, etc. Actually give me slightly better results than precise and Nirnhone. And if you play solo and you don't want to get Spriggans or Two-Fanged Snake, and you can take some points out of Mastered Arms and Thaumaturge to put them into piercing. I really don't think that you need more than 30 points into piercing. But that's pretty much it for champion points. Let's talk about rotation. So, rotation. How does it work? Well, for the back bar, like always, we cast the Antler's Sail, always with a light strike in between to get the Hawkeye passive from the bow, then Caltrops, and then Poison Injection into bar swap. It's pretty simple, so it looks like this. I will show it slowly. Light attack. The Sail, light attack. Caltrops, light attack, Poison Injection into a bar swap. Pretty much it, and pretty simple. So, a little bit quicker, it would look like this. Actually pretty simple. Then on the front bar, how do I start? So I start with light attack, Subterranean Assault, and then do a heavy attack into my skills. So I basically cast these 3 skills here, and I always cast a Subterranean Assault before them. So in the front bar I start with light attack, Subterranean Assault, heavy attack, Deadly Cloak, then heavy attack, Subterranean Assault, heavy attack, Raining Slashes, heavy attack, Subterranean Assault, and then light attack trapped into a bar assault. That's the rotations. It's pretty simple. Basically, every second skill that I cast on the front bar is a Subterranean Assault, and that's why Subterranean Assault is so strong. And it's hitting really hard. Just like have a look at the damage. Hope it just crits. Does crit? Yeah, it's a 17k crit. And yeah, that's pretty much the rotation. Keep in mind, it would take you some time probably to get Warden, to get the rotation, because it's a bit different from other class rotations, but it's a complete heavy tech rotation. And Warden isn't too bad. I will show you a DPS test in a few seconds with Twice Fanged Serpent plus Hunting's Rage, but with Warrior on the Stone. Keep in mind, for the DPS that I which you showed here, I did 37.6k. Keep in mind, there was a Warrior on the Stone. I could have gone with a Lover for more penetration to get more damage. I could have used Krog to get more penetration, get more damage. I had very few Veladrath procs, usually it should be around 10. Or at least 9, so I lost some DPS there. Only 47% crit on the Subterranean Assault. Then also, I could have used an Axe to get an Axe Bleed and also get more damage, which I didn't. Because I want to test out how consistent damage is. Like, not that I do my first test and I get like 42k and was like, oh my god, Warden OP. And then the next test I only get like 37k. Like if you have like really like spikes, no, not spikes, but if you're really lucky. I was over exaggerating a little bit. I'm sorry, but basically, yeah. So that's basically the reason why I go with 2 daggers, especially on the DPS test. I don't want to reach the highest numbers. I don't want to show off. I just want to really find out what setup is working, and I find that with an axe and a dagger, the results are too inconsistent. While like axe can give you, of course, a little bit more damage. But yeah, that's pretty much the DPS test. It's in German. I forgot to change the game before I did my DPS test. As you can see, this is my weapon damage enchantment here. 70% uptime. So please, whoever is saying that the uptime of the enchantment of the offhand is low, it's not. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I will say goodbye now and then put in the DPS test. So if you have any further questions, feel free to ask them now or in the comment section. Sorry. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you don't want to miss any more ESO content, make sure to hit that sub button. And yeah, I hope you also tune in next time. So I hope to see you then. So until then, bye bye.